Hello Gemini, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back, and for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Gemini, Spirit threw out to me as I was getting ready to turn on the camera, let's look for something to be hopeful for. So we'll see what that pertains to as we get into your reading, but this is going to be for your Sun, your Moon, your Rising, and your Venus. This is your February 2025 read. If you are a cross watcher and you are here, welcome as well. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. For those of you who are new, I am Nicole. Thank you for being here and showing up. I want to say thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented, those that have booked personal reads, and who have become channel members as well. Thank you all for your love and support. Much, much appreciated. All right, Gemini, let's get down to it here. Let's see what's going on for you here in the month of February. I don't know. Spirit, time will tell. Time will tell. I feel like you're waiting on some kind of news. I'm not quite sure, Gemini, that you know what that news even is. Honestly, the way this feels to me is kind of like Spirit 2 for 2. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you're 2 for 2. I don't know. Maybe that means something to you. I have no idea what they're talking about. All right, Gemini, let's get down to it here. Spirit for Gemini in the month of February. They're talking about the moon, right? So the moon is our subconscious, our intuition, illusions. It's not seeing things above the surface, but rather, you know, needing to dig deeper below the surface here, Gemini. I don't know. We'll see. See what comes out in the cards. Spirit for Gemini in February 2025. First house of arrival. I just heard this is the first place I remember. So you could be going back in time in your memories to Gemini, thinking about where you've come from. You know, it's like, where did I feel, Spirit, ooh, Gemini, ooh, what is going on with these reads? Did Tauruses yesterday and it was a whole lot, and here you go. Where was the first place I felt so uncomfortable? Where was the first place I felt so unhappy? What are you going to? It's almost like you're Spirit recreating events somehow here. All right, Gemini, for Gemini, please, Spirit. Ceres, nurture. Every rose has a thorn, Gemini. Every rose has a thorn. 12, 11, you've got 3s are important. Change, Uranus. Pardon the birds, they're feeling themselves today. Let's see. It's like I don't know, it's like hanging something out to dry here, Gemini. Giving opportunities and chances to certain things or situations, not knowing where they're going to go or where they're going to take you, but willing to try to submit to something. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of emotion here, and there comes that debilitated card again. Let's see, Gemini. I said where you've come from. South Node, that's the past energy. Pisces, sensitized. Gemini, needing to look, it's almost like the need to address your past. Like as I'm talking to you too, my head feels like I can't have a thought right now. It's the weirdest thing. And I didn't feel that way before I sat down to do your reading. So there's that. Struggling to remember like what it was like. Some of you could have blocked out specific memories of certain things, not wanting to deal with them. But I think that it's important here, Gemini, that you kind of lead back into that, simply because if we have blocked out something specific, that's a repressed emotion. That's a repressed memory. It's a repressed whatever. Why did we lean into forgetting about certain things? You know, are we illusionarily like going, I want to see the best in a situation. I want to believe that everything's going to be fine. I want to know that all is well. Something that hangs in the balance with that hanger that I'm seeing is not fine and well. And I think you know that. I don't know if you're at a place of acceptance of whatever this is in February. So we're going to dive in. We're going to dive in and see what Spirit shares with us. 33 also. So you've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, you've got, hang on a minute here. 1, 2, 4 threes. 4 threes. Some change happening here with these numbers as well. The duality, Gemini, of you. So let's see. I don't know. This is already taking a twist that I wasn't quite expecting here. Obedience, restriction, needing to listen to your higher self, your intuition, your guidance. Gemini, it's kind of like you're standing at the edge of a cliff, right? And going, I don't want to go backwards, but I don't know how to go forward. I don't know what that does. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how to get there. I don't know if I want to leap, if I want to crawl off the side of this cliff and mountain. You're just kind of feeling a little bit frozen or suspended. Spirit, in your emotions, Gemini, take a look at what sits in your moon placement in your chart, okay? Because that's going to be pretty significant for you, I think, throughout the month of February. Playful. The house of belonging. Some of you could really be moving. And I was going to say, Spirit said Sag to me, and then this High Priestess of Fire came out. So that could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but I'm going to roll with Sag. Some of you may have Sag in your moon, so this may resonate with you more if you do. Let's see. Obedient. I see there's a restriction here. You're not wanting to see something, Gemini. You're not wanting to really ask the question and get the answer to something. You're needing to push past this. It's like you want something to feel more comfortable. You want to be a little more alive, and it's kind of like you're playing with certain thoughts or ideas and kind of seeing what sticks, basically. But 41 and 14, you've got some mirroring energies going on. At 14 breaks down to a 5, change. There it sits, that 5, that High Priestess of Fire. I don't know. We're going to clarify. There's something from the past with that South Node and this restrictions card, or obedience, you're not willing to dive into right now. You're not willing to take a look at this in the month of February. And Spirit goes, and they don't even understand why. Because it's going to free you. It's going to free you to a sense of complete and utter liberation for Spirit. So let's see. What is this playful first house about here? Mirror. I just said a reflecting energy. There it is. Reconcile. Gemini, divine timing, shadows. If you are dealing with, I'm going to say anything, right? Family member, friend, relationship, it does not matter what it is. And you have, you're trying to, it's kind of like, here I am, I showed up to the game. Are you participating, Gemini? Or what you're dealing with participating with you as well? Because it's like something here is being reflected back to you. It's a reference point. Like you may be dealing with something that, as it happens, it's reminding you of something that needs to be addressed. And it's kind of like whatever it is, you're trying to reconcile yourself with the situation, with the person, with a feeling. And it's like the timing is never quite right. Something is never quite right. And the shadow side here, look, I said about the past, photography. Those are memories, those are pictures, those are things from the past that are popping up. It's kind of like you've taken certain parts of your life and you've tucked them away and you've held on to those in some strange way where you don't have to look at it, but you know that it exists, right? But you don't want to address it either at the same time. Like this is a little confusing of a read, but Spirit's saying necessary for growth. So I don't know, like, I feel like I have no idea what's happening here, Gemini, but only you do. Page of Wands. There's that, again, that careless, I don't want to say careless, but it's a carefree sort of energy that comes in with the Page of Wands, right? Younger, trying to be, like, studious and institute to what you want to know, where you want to go, what you want to be. Like, it's like, what can I be when I grow older, right? Like, what do I want to do? But it's like you've got this vision of what you want for yourself. And it looks lovely and nurturing and caring and supportive. But there's something about it that never goes quite right. Nine of Wands. There you go. That makes perfect sense, right? A sheath. Is that what they call them? A sheath. It could be of importance too. But this is also harvesting what you put out there, Gemini, at this time. Three of Wands, and that Nine of Wands comes back out. Can't get away from it. You've got to, it's like cutting down the forest parts of things so you can see the trees. You can't see the forest for the trees. The abundance that comes in with a particular awareness or lesson that you begin to understand so that you can move into something that is more beneficial for your well-being here. And I feel like there's times, it's almost like, and I talk about the layers of the onion all the time, like we have to peel back those layers to get to that deeper layer, to the deeper layer. Hey, no. Hey, stop it. Every day. So in part of that, it's like you're moving at a snail's pace, Gemini, of like peeling through that layer of the onion. And you're like, okay, I've done enough. I'm good. I think I've seen what I want to see. It's going to be fine. And then not realizing like there's more to do. And it's like you're kind of tiptoeing through the shadows here of certain memories, certain parts, reminders of what used to be, what once was, Spirit is saying. So what is this belonging in series about here? Communication. Spirit's saying somebody's opened up the lines when it comes to communication. They may be doing better. You're struggling with a sense of independence here, Gemini. Needing to feel independent, that you're creating and forging your own path. There could be third parties involved. I feel like you're unsettled. I feel like you don't know what to do. I don't know that you know where to go. You just know that you need to be free. You need to lead. You need to take the initiative of your own life, and you're not quite sure what that looks like in a lot of ways. Rose and roll the dice. Taking a chance. You know, it's like love hurts and love bites. Like, I don't even know. Like, anything that you love, right? It doesn't have to be romantic love, but it's like I took a chance on communication, and it seems to be working out. Like, this really feels like an emotional block to me, Gemini. This need to be independent. Like, you think about roses, they're beautiful, and we want to pluck them and, you know, put them in a vase or hand them to somebody, and they're covered in thorns. Like, the beauty of the situation hurts. It's right time, wrong place, right time. There's just some kind of like conundrum that you're sitting in of, do I, don't I? And you're not, and honestly, your energy isn't giving me a whole lot to work with here as to understand the deeper parts of the why we are in this space right now, Gemini. So, you're making, I feel like you're making it harder on yourself because there's something that you're choosing not to see. And it's something that you need to see. And it just, Spirit, unsettled sorts of energy here. Let's roll the dice and message. What's this about? The Seven of Wands. You could have, I feel like there's a lot of communication in general, because it's kind of like you're just kind of floating around, doing things, talking to this person, doing that with that person, whatever it might be. But I talked about not being able to see the forest for the trees, and, you know, there's a pretty clear depiction of the same. Lots of reds here, Gemini. So maybe passion, maybe anger, something you're still dealing with anger with, when it comes to what could have felt at some point like bloodshed. Okay? Ten of Pentacles. Let me see here. What's that about? Queen of Swords. There you are. Three of Cups. You're giving tidbits in communication. My problem with this, Gemini, is there is no, you're working towards a feeling of happiness, fulfillment. You envision that, you want that, but you're not showing up in it yourself. Like, we get back what we put out. Are you giving love out to get love in return? Or are you keeping everything at an arm's distance with the Seven of Wands? Because that's really, it's like, I want to have a good time. I want to feel good. I want to celebrate. I want to do all of these things. But two's a party, three's a crowd. And it's like you may have some choices in the near future of what belongs in your life, excuse me, and what doesn't. More communication and fast-moving energy. Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Wands. Something may have taken off here that you weren't expecting. King of Swords. You know, you could call that your divine counterpart. I don't think so, but I will tell you though, if you're dealing with a couple of people in any scenario, one side of this is very impulsive, very quick moving, wants to do it now, wants to do it yesterday. I feel like that feeling, and Spirit's bringing up that past energy I talked about in the very beginning. There's something from that past, Gemini, that's not been addressed within you. You haven't peeled back that level or that layer of that onion to dig deep as to what brings you to this point where you are now. I feel like, honestly, some of you have really gotten hurt in the past, and that's part of this, is addressing that deeper level of hurt that has made you the way that you are, or helped to assist you to get to the ways that you are. The way, you know, you could say this too is, you know, hurt people, right? You know, were you with someone in the past who was extremely non-committal and put the fear of God in you when it come to committing to anything because you know how ugly it could go when shit went wrong? Are you fearful of committing yourself to something entirely for, you know, all of eternity? Because if you do, that's it. There are no second chances. There are no other people or other jobs in your mind. Like, there's something to that commitment with this rose that goes, I really want to indulge in these things, but I don't know if I can settle down on that thing either. There's a big fear. There's a very big fear. So it's easier to like ride off into the sunset in your white horse, or on your white horse, in independence. So then you don't feel tied down or restricted to anything around you either. Part of that not wanting to see is a restriction, right? It is a restriction. It's an obedience to keeping things as they are, keeping your guards up, out of some position of fear that is still coming in from the past. So that's something, you know, I think you're making other people uncomfortable too in the process. They may not know why. You may not be sharing information with them. Like I said, there's like, you're giving so much and then you're stopping yourself. You could be making others uncomfortable, and they're looking at you going, what's going on here? Where is Gemini coming from? What is Gemini trying to do? Because I thought I seen a change, and I did see a change, but I don't know if that change is substantial enough. Like, what stops a repeat here as well? Taurus had some stuff coming up from the past yesterday as well, so I don't know. Gemini, Taurus, or Taurus and Gemini season in order may bring up a lot of things from the past. All right, what is this? It's a final Spirit, final roll call during that time period. What is this? High Priestess of Fire. See, that encounter to the back is like meeting by chance, love at first sight, crush. This may very well have to do with love, Gemini. It went over there, and I'm going to leave it there. There's something that you felt solely connected to in the past that you just didn't think there would ever be another person, another job, another way of being, that was for life. There was something, again, around the commitment, that was for life. And because it limited your potential to do a lot of things, it's easier to like look at it like a bright shiny object and go, that's beautiful, I love that, but you got to stay over there. You can't get close to me. Like, there's like barbed wire wrapped around you, your heart, your mind, the whole thing. This is likely to be, Gemini, this could very well be a third party. I mean, I'm going to call it for what it is here, the way this is showing up. There's this encounter that occurs. There's an encounter that occurred in the past. This, let me see, is this new? I don't, hold on. Something pops up and scares you, Gemini. Something is popping up and scaring you, and you don't know what to do with that. It feels forbidden. Queen of Pentacles, you could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Four of Wands. Something, okay. For, you know, this is not going to resonate with everybody, but there's that moon. I told you that moon energy, and there it is. Something being done in the dark, secrets. The way people may view things. Aries energy. So Aries, Taurus, Gemini here. You got Cancerian energy as well. Okay. Talking about that subconscious, and bear with me for a minute, because the way these, Gemini, it's like you're aloof to something. Like, my mind space is just kind of like blanked out on me with the way this feels. And when I feel that sorts of energy, or my body changes in the process of doing these readings, it's very indicative of what's going on with you. It's like almost out of character for me, right? So it's an odd feeling that I'll get sometimes, and here we are. This is the moment. Working towards yourself, it's like you're struggling with self-discipline when it comes to something. Like, you could engage in something in a certain kind of way, and you're choosing not to, and that's creating some issues as well. But there's something or somebody, your hidden dreams and aspirations too, Gemini, are at play here. This isn't just a person. It's like what you want wants you, but what you want may not be what somebody else wants. I feel like you're trying to connect with different things to see your way forward, to understand where the hell it is that you're going, or even what it is that you want. Because I feel like there are key players to a situation that have happened in the past that have put you in that sort of energy to begin with. There are key elements to the emotions that come in with this for you. And it's like, who do you give that free pass to? Do you take that new job that sounds alluring? Do you stick with the old one? It's like remembering the hurt from this past relationship. How do I move into a new one? All of the things, Gemini, that are kind of playing into this. And I do want to tell you, though, for some of you, you were meant to do something alone. So whether this is work, family, job, career, kids, I don't know, whatever it is, relationships, like, you were meant to do something alone, because you may be doing this alone for a little while more, because you need to understand there's honest to God, four threes laying here. And there you are, Gemini, cross-pollination, Pisces energy, and then that South Node. You are needing to clean up your past in some way to address your future. Your emotions, there's like, other than the moon, there's no emotion here at all. There's nothing at all. And that's the one thing that you need to get to the core of here. A lot of thinking about it, a lot of addressing certain things, like seeing this vision of happiness, but you have to feel that vision, okay? Spirit. Step back. Yeah, I feel like whatever you've dealt with before, again, it doesn't matter what it was. There we go, break free. 24:42 on the clock, so 6-6. That's the second time I've seen those 2 6s for you too. I like that, because you will find your way. You're not off track, Gemini. You're just working through that track, and it seems to be taking you a little bit longer than you would like. step back. It's like going back in time and taking a look at that past again, right? Going back to the distance that was created from like yourself to yourself, if that makes sense. It's almost like ripping your higher self out of yourself and going, you stay over there, I'm staying over here because I don't want to deal with this. As a result of a situation that you dealt with that made you become distant from things. So there's a big need to do some healing work around the emotional aspects. And I said, like, you have to give to get. Like, are you giving? I said, there's no emotion. Are you giving love? Are you giving that attention, time, and focus to something? And what comes out for your advice? To give, to focus, to refresh, restart. And I think you're restarting all the time in your own little way. Like, it's like, I feel this way, so I'm going that way. Very, very kind of flighty sometimes, Gemini, right? Underneath is, you have to make a choice, but you're pausing to hold that choice. It's like, Spirit's like, it's okay to take your time to make a decision. You don't have to make a decision tonight. But you also need to get clear about where it is that you're going. Okay, so I hope this is a bit of a funneled reading, but I hope that this is making sense for you. So it's like, Spirit, any clarity that you needed, or any validation, that what is holding you back now is that past situation that made you kind of dry or empty. So that's what you're needing to break free from by nurturing yourself. Okay, and then once you get through that, then you're going to understand why you've made some of the choices that you made, or why you've pushed people away or situations back, going, I'm good, just stay over there. And then it'll all start to click for you. Okay, Gemini, I hope this reading was helpful here for you in February. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Personal reads are open and available. That information can be found in the description box below, as well as the About section of the page. I'm sending you all so much love. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.